Hello, I'm going to tell you a little story today. So for a little while I lived with my nan. She is the same as every other old person in that they're the most intolerant people on the planet. One of the main things that she really didn't like was the idea of somebody being gay. So it was an interesting response from her when I told her that I was going out for the evening in Brighton. If you don't know, Brighton is kind of the gay capital of the UK, would you say?
Yeah.
There was a few people going, they were all men, so she was immediately a bit suspicious. But I kind of calmed her down and said, look, I'm just going for a normal heterosexual night out. A friend of mine came round, let's call him Jimmy, because let's not use his real name, because it's a true story. So after convincing my nan that it was more lads on tour than lads on lads, we got a cab down to Brighton and went out and had like a good evening, drinking, partying, dancing. It was like a clubby night out. Anyway, my friend Jimmy has a bit of a problem in that he suffers from hemorrhoids, and I won't go into detail about what hemorrhoids are, but after a little while of sort of dancing around and being quite active, they started to play up a bit, and he spent like a good hour or so walking around the club, hobbling, holding his arsehole, which went down really well in Brighton. A little while later we decided, you know, we'll leave, and it's very like early, it's sort of 5 or so. It takes about 2 hours to get back to where we were, so we got the only cab that we could find, which was this really old rust bucket with this really frightening looking Bulgarian guy to drive us home. So me and Jimmy bundle into this cab and we're driving back. The cab driver had decided to set the aircon to Arctic, essentially. So it's freezing cold, and we were begging this guy to sort of turn the aircon down, but he's just there going, no, he's not on, he's not on. It is on because I've got pneumonia and I'm dying. Nope, the aircon is not on. Jimmy gets pissed off and decides, right, fuck this, I'm turning it down myself. So he leans forward into this guy's car and goes to turn the aircon down manually. Instead of turning the aircon down, he pulls the dial off, and this Bulgarian guy just starts losing his shit. We're freaking out. Luckily we've already paid, so we know we've only got a little bit further to go, and then we can get the fuck out of the car and we're home free. However, by the time we get back, it's about 7 AM, my nan's outside tending to her garden, and what she witnesses is us pull up after this suspicious night out in Brighton, bowl out of this car. Jimmy is running up the garden holding his arsehole with a Bulgarian guy shouting after him, "You broke my knob! You broke my knob!" And that is how, as a straight guy, I had to come out to my nan.